right now in the world, everyone is, or everyone should become an energy expert. And I'm not threatened by that. It's my business. I'm not threatened by that. I think it's really important I say that. So it should be a conversation we're all having together. No one has the ultimate answer. We have to know we want to go together as a society and as a global society where we want to go. I would also say I'm an optimist. This is the opportunity of a lifetime that we're sitting in. We're the second decade of the 21st century. That's shocking to think, the second decade of the 21st century. But this is the opportunity of a lifetime. There will be more money spent in the next 2 generations, more money invested in the next 2 generations to bring about this new transformation the world will be going through over the next 2 generations than probably has been invested in the history of mankind. It's that big. If that doesn't spell opportunity to you, I'm not sure what does. I mean, it's absolutely huge what the world is about to go through and going through. Think about a couple things, I'll come back to them. The word shape, the term fitness of the system, and survival of the fittest. Think about all of those 3 things as I'm going through my remarks for the next few minutes. And start off by saying, energy is not energy as we know it. Think about that. Energy is the great game of the 21st century. Everyone's driving to try and solve the energy dilemma or energy opportunity. Why is it? Because it's something I defined a number of years ago called the energy of geopolitics. It's a very simple concept. Every single issue we face in the world today has energy at its core. You cannot solve these issues without energy. We don't have water without energy. We don't have sanitation without energy. We don't have development without energy. You just go down the list. We have to have energy. It's central to every major international issue we face today. We are addressing these issues in a comprehensive way around this little thing called energy. We put things in little boxes and little silos and address them. But it's a unifying thing, a unifying force around all the issues we face in the world. So this is an opportunity. This is the great game of the 21st century. And when you think about that, think about what energy means to you. And think about where we might go. And I have a formula for all of this. It's all being driven also by something called climate, which may put in parentheses security. Customers, what do people want? What do people need around the world to live and drive their lives forward? And think about capital, 3 C's. Climate, consumers or customers, the governments too, and capital. That's part of the great game, and those 3 add up to jobs and economic development, economic prosperity, or transformation as we go forward. Now when you're thinking about that, think about the tragedy that has unfortunately happened in the Gulf of Mexico. That's probably the only time I'm going to mention it, actually. If this does not increase our focus and attention on energy and the environment, nothing will. And when I say that, I want to put a big but in place. Don't think about in terms of pollution. Think about in terms of everything around that Gulf tragedy. It's not pollution. It's economic development. It's development in its broadest possible sense that we're addressing here and dealing with. And that development is taking place all over the world. And there's a clean development race taking place around the world. And for many places that started a long time ago, we're catching up. Although it's our research that created it, we're catching up in many ways. When I call this a clean technology development race, I'm not using the word green. I am just not using the word green. I'm using clean technology. Green means solar, and may mean wind, may mean some bioprocesses. I'm talking about technologies that are clean, that may produce energy, or may produce the services we want to have that energy provides, without necessarily having to produce energy, and also ways of not using energy, and also transforming products that we will be using in the future. We'll be using different products that may have a whole different way of getting there and being created. So it's clean technology. So it's not green. Green is a very limited definition as far as I'm concerned. It's a clean development race we're involved in around the globe. And it is a race. It's a very competitive race around the globe. And the race is one on a playing field for carbon neutral or low carbon, clean race. Now that's how we're defining clean right now, it's low carbon. When we go forward into the future, these next 2 generations, into the rest of the 21st century, the terminology and the definition of clean is going to change. Right now our definition revolves around carbon dioxide. That's the first manifestation of what I call the transformation to a new economic paradigm. From cost-based capitalism to value-based capitalism. What do you want capitalism to produce for us? What values do we want to see into the future that we want to drive and bring forward? The first value, some people are saying, should be low carbon, or no carbon, or carbon neutral. There'll be others coming into the system, but we're creating a new economic paradigm as we go forward. So it's a great opportunity and a great transformation. Now stop for a second. I'm going to stop this a number of times myself in my conversation with you. Think about mankind, or humankind, how we've developed over time. Every major transformation in history to how we organize society over time has been driven by a key driving force called a new energy source. Fire, harnessing water, steam engines, electricity, oil, I'm going to say the internet. For me, it's a form of energy, the internet. And when I say transformation in history, it's just not how we use this stuff. Society reorganized how society was organized. Think about all those little things, fire, water, steam. We organize ourselves differently, socially. Create different government institutions and structures to deal with those transformations, those driving forces. We're in one of those periods right now.